Welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, December 2nd in the NBA. My 5 favorite plays are on the way. Before we dive into those, my name is Austin. We, as always, recap how we did the day before. And obviously, we're not going to hide from a losing day, and that's what yesterday was, a 1-4 day. We could have honestly gone 0-5 if Devin Booker did not get injured. But overall, a little bit unlucky, but overall just some bad plays. I'll be honest with you. Nikola Vucevic, I probably would have never taken his under if you told me Kobe White wasn't playing. He was playing early in the morning, then popped up with an illness, didn't play. Obviously, he's now their second option there. Jalen Johnson might be the greatest player of all time. Never fading him again. I mean, the guy had 4 points at halftime. It was looking like a sweat-free under, and then he went nuclear in the second half. Tipped the cap to him. The guy's playing out of his mind. I regret adding Bridges in there for the LaMelo SGP. LaMelo went under in points. Bridges, obviously, we know he stunk it up. And then Cooper Flag. He had a great game. Nuggets, I don't know if they know how to play defense anymore. But either way, we're going to bounce back today. I know it was a bad one. If you stick with me the whole season long, I promise you, you'll be up plenty more than that. But either way, it is a losing day. We're not going to win every single day. So a reminder, stick to those unit sizes, manage your bankroll, and let's just get back to winning. Let's get on to it starting today. We also, at the end of the video, will have a sleeper entry. We talk about sleeper a ton. Sleeper, you know, one of those daily fantasy apps out there. A great one. Right now, they're giving you a Cade Cunningham free pick for tomorrow. All you got to do is deposit $10 using my code COS. They'll also double your first deposit. So again, take advantage of that. I believe they're also giving people free $20 entries. So tons of different things, tons of boosts, tons of discounts. Join if you want to. I'll have a sleeper entry at the end of this video. Again, code COS or the link down below. But let's dive into my picks. I'll begin actually with an over. Let's start with this guy, Brandon Ingram, over 23.5 points, -116 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. I personally think this line should at least be 24.5. That's where sharper books were. I would still take it there. I think there's a chance Ingram could score 30-plus points today, as him and the Raptors are playing host to the Portland Trailblazers. I believe this game is a 232.5 total, so a lot of points are expected. A fast-paced game. That's what the Blazers do. I think this is an A-plus spot for Brandon Ingram to get back going because he's coming off a really bad game. Let's talk about it. Now, we'll be back bringing back up Props Madness. You guys know we love Props Madness. Honestly, I'm on Props Madness every single morning. Sometimes I bring them up in the video, sometimes I don't. But again, don't be surprised. I'm on it every single day. You look at Ingram. Obviously, the hit rate is not a great. I mean, 6 for 15. Sure. I get it. And like I said, 23.5 still available. 24.5 I would still play depending on where you are on your book. But let's mostly highlight the games in which RJ Barrett is out. RJ Barrett, we know, is out for tonight's game. He's had pretty good games. You look at the volume in these games, 30 shots here, 23, 26, and then this game against the Knicks, they gets blown out, lose by 22. He only shoots 11 times, misses 3 of his 7 free throw attempts. If you want to look back on similar games, we saw a game right here against the Nets. He stunk. He scored 14 points and even talked about how in the next game he felt like he needed to step up. It was a back-to-back. He scored 37 points. That was that game he shot 30 times. Again, this is a solid spot for him. The Blazers, you look at the 3 primary ways that Ingram scores. Free throws, they rank 3rd worst. That's 28th. Transition, 3rd worst, and pick and roll ball handler, 23rd. So again, Ingram, not a big spot up shooter, but some of his teammates are. And off screens, he doesn't really do a whole lot of that. So again, the 3 primary ways of scoring, pretty good for him. If you look at where he scores his points, he loves getting to that mid-range, and that is where the Blazers want you to get to. 29th. They rank 2nd to last in the mid-range scoring. Heck, even the paint non-restricted area, a great spot for Ingram. I think he has a great spot here for him to score. If you look at all time, head-to-head versus the Blazers, not necessarily the best numbers of all time. And granted, he's splitting a lot of touches with Zion and guys like that. But you look at the volume, which is kind of what we're betting on. 21 shots here, 21, 20, 17, 24. So again, you're telling me this is the guy, I need him to score 24-ish points, and he's going to shoot the ball 20-ish times. Like, I'll take a chance there. Brandon Ingram at home, coming off a dud. I think it's a great spot for him to bounce back here. Wouldn't be shocked if he dropped 30 tonight. I love his over. Don't really love Scotty Barnes matchup. He probably gets Denny Avdia, pretty good defender. I think Ingram is going to have to score a good amount of points here, so I love his overs. My next play is actually going to be an under. Let's talk about Derik Queen. We're fading him, taking his under, 12.5 points, -113 on DraftKings. A 1-unit play, as him and the Pelicans are playing host to the Timberwolves tonight. Now the Timberwolves, and my hope is that this game is close, because there is a concern this could be a blowout. That obviously any game could, honestly, but this be at this point. But the Pelicans have played stingy at home. They are a pretty decent home team. Zion should be active. Trey Murphy, we'll see if he plays or not. We'll love if he was out there as well. I think he missed their last game, but I like fading Derik Queen here against the Timberwolves. Now, Derik Queen, he had a good stretch. It was like a Linsanity run, but as of late, the guy hasn't been playing all too well, and they've also been benching him too, and for good reason. Now, like I said, back on Props Madness. I forgot to say Props Madness, if you want to sign up, like I said, one of the best research tools out there for the NBA. Also pretty good for the NFL as well. But again, you can use my code COS. The link is down below, I believe, as well. Like I said, he's had some good games in here, but overall under in 12 of 18, pretty good. He had this good little Mickey Mouse run against Nuggets, Mavericks, and Hawks. But since then, I mean, he hasn't been good. Let's call it what it is. And the only game he went over was against the Lakers, and Zion didn't even play in that game. So again, you're just looking at these last few games. Not really a whole lot going on. I mean, he's under, and you look at the 17 minutes here against the Bulls. He only plays 23 here, 16 minutes. He's getting benched. Why? Because his defense isn't good. I mean, the guy just he hasn't been given a lot of effort on defense. And that's a quick way to get benched if you're a rookie. He's been getting benched for the whole second half of some of these games. And you look at how and where he scores his points. He does the majority of his damage in the paint. I mean, look, 82% of his shots come within 10 feet of the basket. You see the Timberwolves rank 6th there. I mean, the guy he's going to be faced up against is going to be Rudy Gobert. And while Rudy Gobert is not the best, perimeter defender in the world, he's great at being a paint defender. It's the reason he's a multi-time defensive player of the year. And what Rudy Gobert is really good at is getting offensive rebounds. So a guy like Derik Queen, a little bit undersized, 6'9", 250. If he's not boxing out on Rudy Gobert and Rudy Gobert gets a putback 1 or 2 in the first few minutes, Derik Queen will get benched. It would not shock me at all if that is the case. I think this is a really tough spot for the man to go out there and score 13 or more points. It's if he wants to go and take Rudy Gobert ISO and just do that, fine. But I could see them benching him here for Messi, a much better defender, much better rebounder than Derik Queen so far in his NBA career. I like taking his under 12.5 points there. My third play, and it is due a hater. It is our Dub Club exclusive play. I know the NBA ones have been cool, ice cold recently. They're going to heat up. I mean, if you're in the Dub Club, if you've been tailing the NFL ones, you've been banking. Those things are up over 10, 11 units on the season. NBA's down about 2 or 3. They're going to heat up. I guarantee you it's going to be a matter of time where we're hitting like 7 straight in a row. So just stick with it. I love today's under in points today. I think it's a winner. I almost put 2 units on it. But because the Dub Club plays have been a little bit ice cold, only did 1 unit. I didn't have babies cash. And again, if you want it, join the Dub Club, 50% off with the link down below, less than $10. Get on in there, support the community. We're making a lot of money over there. Let's get into some longer shot plays. Let's talk all about Harrison Barnes, 3+3s, plus 186 on FanDuel. I forgot to note that I didn't put the loss for the parlay or the ladder challenge in the recap little slide, but we did include them into the recap for units and whatnot. Maybe we need to break the curse to cash a bet on Harrison Barnes for the ladder because he obviously is a known ladder hater. If you know, you know. But I love Harrison Barnes today. I think he hits 3 threes as him and the Spurs play host to the Grizzlies. I think it's a solid spot for HB. If you look at his numbers on the season, he's actually not been terrible at hitting this line. I'm only playing this for a half unit. It is plus 186 on FanDuel. So pretty solid odds, though, for a guy to knock down 3 shots. It's not like we're asking him to set the world on fire. In terms of Harrison Barnes, though, this season, I think this is a good spot for him, like I said, against the Grizzlies. Now, let's pull up Harrison Barnes. Obviously, we'll be back on to Props Madness. I don't need to tell you again, best research tool out there. Like I said, Harrison Barnes, pretty good towards hitting the 1.5, but the 2.5 is pretty solid, almost 45%. So pretty good. I mean, I'd rather take the 2.5 than laying juice on the 1.5 at minus 170. I'm just not doing that. But if you look at it head-to-head wise, he already faced the Grizzlies. He made 4 threes in that game, made 8 of them, attempted 8. 4 for 8, pretty solid game. He is coming off a couple down shooting games. This game, 1 for 4 versus Minnesota. Again, not a good spot up team. And then this game, 1 for 6. So not great volume there. Well, the volume's solid. I mean, if you told me he shot at least 6 times, that'd be pretty good. But you look at the Grizzlies, 25th in 3-point attempts allowed. I actually expect him. They've been decent against spot up, but I don't really buy those numbers. If you look at who his defender is, it's going to be this man. Where's Jaren Jackson Jr.? Jaren's probably going to guard him. And if you've ever watched Jaren play defense, the man loves to sag off on defense. He does not like to go out on the perimeter. If you drive, he likes to come in and converge on those and try to be a rim protector. So again, HB should be wide open from 3 tonight. And JJJ doesn't like to come out on screens either. So again, if they run some actions for Harrison Barnes, he will get open threes. With Zach Edey, with JJJ sagging off, he will get plenty of opportunities here today. Obviously, we need to knock him down, but at plus 186, I think the value is there for half unit to win back almost a full unit. I think it's worth it. We've been pretty good on these, plus 180, plus 200 type plays. I think it's a good one with a little bit of value. I personally think this should be closer to like plus 130. So getting at plus 190, basically, I think we got a chance. HB should get some opportunities. If you look at his numbers, when he attempts 5 five or more threes. It's over 50% hit rate, 6 or more. I think there's a chance he could just have 6 or 7. If he gets hot, he can easily knock down 3. He can do that in the first quarter for all I care. I think it's a great spot for him as the Spurs are on the first half of a back-to-back for what it's worth. And then my final play in the video before we get into our sleeper entry is a New York Knick. Let's talk all about Josh Hart. I'm laddering his points. I took his 15 plus points at plus 143 on DraftKings for a half unit. And I took his 20 plus points for plus 500, I believe, just for 0.1 unit on FanDuel. So not going too crazy on the 20 plus, but I do like the 15 plus. You could maybe up your unit size there if you want to. His regular line is 12.5. In my opinion, if Josh Hart gets to 12.5, he's probably going over and getting 15 plus. I mean, that's 2 more points, and you don't have to lay minus 125. You can get plus 140. I'd much rather go for the plus money price here for Josh Hart, as him and the Knicks are on the road taking on the Celtics. Now, the Knicks are on the front end of a back-to-back, so I don't see them really monitoring their minutes a ton, but it is worth noting maybe that is the case. And maybe they reduce Jalen Brunson's minutes a little bit, but Josh Hart's an Iron Man. That's what he does. He plays a ton of minutes, and I think, once again, he's going to play a ton of minutes here. Now, obviously, not the greatest start to the season for Josh Hart. OG Anunoby, Shamit in the lineup, and the new coaching staff was kind of trying to figure out what to do. But as of late, the man's been hooping. You got to give him some credit. You look at his last 3 games, 22, 19, and 20 points. The guy's been playing really well. Heck, even going out, his last 6 games, he's getting the 15 plus pretty solidly. Orlando Magic, terrible matchup for him. Nets, not the best matchup in the world for him as well. But the last 3, like I said, 22 points, 13 field goal time, shooting the ball well from 3, 19 against the Bucks, 5 for 12, and 9 for 10 from the free throw line, something we know he's capable of doing. And then the Raptors, again, 20 points, shot the ball well from the 3-point line. There's something I've noticed teams are doing, and that is they are willing to live with Josh Hart beating them one-on-one. And not one-on-one, but leaving him for open from 3, living with those shots. And I don't blame him, because the other guys on the court, Cat, Jalen Brunson, McCall, Miles McBride, I get it. And so would not be shocked if this guy, Neemias Queta, is the matchup for Josh Hart today, because I don't think they want Queta guarding Cat. Instead, I would expect Cat to either draw Jordan Walsh or maybe even Jaylen Brown could take Cat as a solid option. In years past, in the last few years, last year and this year, they haven't really wanted a big man on Cat. Normally, it was actually Jason Tatum taking the matchup. But again, you've seen Josh Hart play well against the Celtics in his career, which is all we're kind of looking for. Let me pull up his numbers against them. Head-to-head wise, not too bad. If you look at head-to-head wise when he shoots the ball, which is kind of all we're looking for, head-to-head when he shoots the ball at least 10 times, which, like I said, I think he could get there easily today. You look at the numbers. Pretty good. 15 plus points in 7 of 8. Last 4 games, 20 plus in 3 of them. I mean, look at that game. 7 for 15. Obviously, make some threes. We like to see that. This game, 3 for 6 from 3, 9 for 15 from the field, 5 of 14 here, and then here 8 for 14 from the field. Doesn't even make a single 3. Doesn't even attempt one. So, again, I would expect the Celtics defense to be, hey, Josh Hart, we're leaving you wide open, man. Go have yourself a field day. And he's been shooting the ball well. I'm not going to say he's not going to continue it. I think it's a good spot for him. So I do like his overs and points. Like I said, I didn't pull up the line, but the 12.5 is like minus 130. So, like, count me out there. I'd much prefer just to take the 15 plus. If he scores 13 or 14 points, fine. I'll just take my L for 0.6 units. But I think there's upside here for him. On the road, taking on the Celtics in a matchup that he's probably left wide open. If he gets hot, he easily gets 15 points. If he gets hot, he gets to 20 plus at plus 500 for another half unit. Well, to win a half unit. They've got a chance there. I'm just saying, we've been pretty good on those. Ace Bailey was our most recent one. He was right there. Jalen Williams was shot 18 times. When you look at Jalen Williams' line tonight, it's at 18.5. Annoying. Finally, we wrap up the video with our sleeper entry. Your reminder on sleeper: if you sign up using my code COS, they'll give you a free $100. Well, not free $100, a 100% deposit match up to $100, and a free pick, Cade Cunningham, for tomorrow for him to score 1 point. You'll recognize all these plays. I did take Harrison Barnes for 2 plus. Granted, it is in a little parlay here, so I'm willing to do it there. Not as a straight. I wouldn't plan for 2, but here I will. I did Josh Hart's regular line at 12.5, Ingram's regular line 24.5, and then fading Derik Queen there, $20 on that puppy turns into 172. Again, code COS, 100% deposit match. Take advantage of that. Again, apologies for a bad day yesterday, but I'm not too worried about it. I've been doing this way too long to know one bad day is not going to really dictate your whole season. We make 800 wagers every year in the NBA. 5 of them individually are not going to make a big difference unless you make them 100-unit plays. Then fine. But again, we're going to get hot, and I think it starts today. I love the card we got. Josh Hart, I need 20 from you. Harrison Barnes, I need 3 threes. And then Ingram, need a big game. Derik Queen, take the night off. And then our Dub Club exclusive play and under. think we're cashing. So have a great day. Thank you guys again for supporting the channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, love you guys. Thanks for always tuning in. I'll see you guys back in tomorrow with the brooms out, speaking it into existence. See you guys then. Peace.